Anina's career is driven by campaigns and deadlines. Her husband teaches how to be calm and centered. These opposites meet and find balance in their city pad.
I'm always so interested to see what people have hidden behind their walls, especially in the city. And I've seen some impressive things, but this is really unusual. It's lovely.
Thank you, Nico. Yes, well, the house was 150 years old, and when we found the house 3 years ago, it was in quite a bad state. So it's a Cape Dutch mixed with a bit of Victorian. It was built in 1860. So my vision was really to bring it back to its natural heritage. But we also wanted to give it a modern twist.
Well, if this courtyard is anything to go by, I can't wait to see what's inside. Shall we take a look?
Yes, come inside.
What the finishes don't tell you is that a home which has stood for a century and a half comes with hidden costs.
Well, Anina, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I love the feel that you've created with the space.
Yes, it's quite unexpected, isn't it? You enter through this black door and there's this vast open space. However, we did have to break through a couple of walls, and when we started breaking through, we realized that the walls are so brittle, so we had quite a few structural challenges. But yeah, our architects and our team managed to pull it together, and we've got a really wonderful open space now.
Was it difficult bringing together all these cultural influences?
Yes, I mean, it's a Victorian, but we really wanted to modernize it and at the same time bring in some of our own influences. You know, my roots are French and my husband's Chinese, so we wanted to bring in a bit of the Asian influence. And yeah, it was a very interesting task, just bringing all these cultures together, really. Just the color palette as well. You know, I love monochromatic colors, black and white. So it's quite a stark palette, but it works beautifully with some gold elements. So my husband, for example, he doesn't care what I do with the interiors as long as there's a certain energy, certain feng shui. So that was important to him. So we brought in the 4 elements quite effectively. You know, when you look at the floors that are solid oak, or some of the metal and gold influences. Fireplace, of course, gives us that fire element and the water feature up front.
Feng shui, wind and water, is the balance and harmony of energy flow in our living space. I like what my wife has done here. I did have a little bit of say in it, but I trusted her all the way. Coming from a fashion and art background, having those backgrounds, I truly believe that she was going to pull it off, and she did. All the elements are in perfect balance, and most importantly, the energy feels very free and very great and very happy.
What about restoration?
So we had to renovate it quite a bit. Exteriors, floors, walls, windows, so all of that had to be restored, so it was quite a task.
Before the peaceful greenery came the renovation. The one set of original French doors was replicated throughout the house. Anina's fine art background gave her a good idea of how each room could look, and Anneline Botes helped her achieve it.
Let me just start by saying congratulations, you've done a phenomenal job here.
Our objective was to try and create a canvas, a backdrop that Anina could layer her own personal style on top of that, and the bar was set quite high.
You've managed to bring a lot of natural elements into the house. What was the thinking behind that?
Specific ideas was to maintain a flow right throughout the house. But we dealt with an existing portion and then also creating a new dining area. And I think that the greenery and the natural elements help to maintain that flow, and everything kind of reads into everything else. In this specific area, we work with a natural timber table, and we've offset it with translucent chairs, black and white tiles, which automatically then relates back to the interior of the house. The greenery helps soften the space quite a bit then as well.
And of course, bringing light into this house is very important.
I think that the white walls, white accents on the floor helps to lift the space. We kept it quite minimal with the idea that you have artworks and you layer the walls, but in essence it is a bright, airy type of space.
The furniture is also quite unusual.
With the black and the white, it can be quite hard and harsh, so we wanted to bring in the natural wood just to give it a natural element. So those 2 chairs in the lounge, they're about 30 years old. It's my late mother's chairs. When I was still very little, she crashed a car, she wrote it off, and the insurance paid out, of course. And one day she came home and she said to my dad, well, I didn't replace the car, but I bought 2 chairs. She just fell in love with the chairs and couldn't resist. She died about 3 years ago, and I thought I just needed to put these chairs inside because they also feed in so beautifully with the cultural melting pot of this house.
High ceilings allow glass and metal in the light fittings, while black is used as a framework.
So Nika, this is one of my favorite spaces, the master bedroom. Really wanted to create a cocoon here, something that's very plush, feminine, warm, comfortable. We brought the black door frames in, the mirrored doors, of course, and the chandelier just adds like a focal point, something very feminine and glamorous almost.
Dr. Lan's calming energy pervades the house. Before training in Chinese medicine and Tai Chi, he practiced hard martial arts. As a couple, they're quietly confident.
As I understand it, your husband is a Tai Chi instructor and he's a doctor. What a lovely combination the two of you are.
He's the yin to my yang. He's actually a Tai Chi master and a doctor of Chinese medicine. So it's all about a holistic lifestyle and balancing the mind, body with the spirit. And that's really what keeps me sane at the end of the day. When you work all hours of the day and night, you need something that's going to ground you, it's going to balance you.
Because my wife works so hard, she's into an industry where it's quite stressful. I think me that practices Tai Chi for a long time, it's very important for me to share that to my wife, to make sure that she's calm when she comes home. As well as when she goes to work, she's very calm, so she can then manage her work and her staff in a calm state and of course a balanced state, because I believe balance is very important.
What is your philosophy on life? Because it seems whatever you get your hands on, you turn into a success.
I really believe in just keeping it real, being authentic and living a life that is true to yourself. At the end of the day, when I close my gate, I come and I relax in the house and I focus my time on just bringing myself back to earth. Of course, the husband is always reminding me to do that as well, but it's really about living an authentic life and being real. Very important.
Well, it seems we can add tea making to your list of skills, so here's to whatever you get up to next.
Thank you.
To authenticity.
Cheers, darling.